right. We should be live and ready to go. So, as soon as we get some audio visual feedback here on my end, we will get it started. All right, everything is looking good. I got to turn down the light. I'll do that in a second. Actually, we'll do that right now. All right, that's looking a lot better. I do apologize for that, but what is up, everybody? There might be a couple people here, but I just want to take the moment right now at the beginning of this whole thing to welcome everyone who is watching the replay, who's not here live. I'm sorry that I missed you, but of course you are here watching the replay, and I do appreciate that. Otherwise, for future consideration, I try and do these every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, every day on Friday. And if you didn't make it, then I'm sorry. You could plan to make the next one. And of course, for updates on whether or not stuff's actually going to happen or if it's going to be delayed, head on over to, follow me on Twitter and all of that stuff. And that's the best way to stay up to date with everything that is going on. So let's get it started with the content and all that stuff. First, I gotta say hello to everyone who's dropped something down in the comments. I see you all. And Manu here saying that they are back. It's been a while, I guess. I don't remember the last time that I've seen you all here. But we got Xianjiang there, who is a friend, who is a known face. I don't know who that is. Everybody else, not necessarily known. A flying gecko. How are you doing? All right. So to kind of like kick this whole stream off, because of course the title of this video, is kind of celebrating, or the occasion that we're gonna center the stream around is the celebration of accumulating 5 million total views across all of my videos on my channel, which is well, pretty cool. That's another milestone that I of course had not reached before, and now I have. And of course the reason for that is because you and maybe not 5 million other people, but you and other people have watched all of my videos a total of 5 million times, and I definitely do appreciate that. It is really, really, really awesome. And of course, we're just trying to continue moving upwards from here. So that's good. Looking to of course kind of finish the year off super, super strong. We're not gonna get another 1 million views in the next 2 months, but hopefully we can hit like 14,000 subscribers or something like that. That's, I think, the most achievable goal that I can get by the end of the year. And just gonna continue having fun like I'm doing, uploading videos, having these live chats, talking to you guys, hearing what everyone's got to say. And so, as a result of that, well, not as a result of that, but a thing that whole event that further motivated me to crack open this nice special little beer that I got for my birthday from my parents, which is a what was it, an imperial, I think it's an imperial brown ale or something like that, that's been aged in a used bourbon barrel. So you get this right here, aged in a bourbon barrel, so it soaks into the wood of the bourbon barrel, and you get a little of that bourbon taste in it. Oh, it's tasty. Such a tasty beer. So good. This is the benefit. This is one of the great things about living in Kentucky, which is the one and only place in the world that you can actually make actual bourbon. And we get all these bourbon barrel you know, all these beers and stuff that I get that have been aged a little bit in bourbon barrel in used bourbon barrels, which is fantastic. It's expensive as hell. Um, and but it's super super tasty. It's super super good stuff. Um, so yeah. So thanks everyone for the congratulations and all that stuff. Really do appreciate it. But of course, you know, I personally could not have done it if you guys were not there behind me watching my videos, coming to the live chats and stuff like that. And I'm glad to hear to see Asu Sensei that we have got one person here who is brand new to the live videos. They've never done it before, so I'm super super stoked to see that we got someone who's a first timer, which is awesome. You know, like I said at the beginning, if you made it, or if you missed that, or if you did not hear, that's what I was meaning to say. We do these every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, not every single night, every single Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, you know, if you want to make the next one, then, you know, plan ahead accordingly. If you don't want to, then I'm gonna try and remember to actually publish these so that people can watch the replays in the future. But I've been really really poor with doing all of that. But that's what we got. This week's been a little slow with releases, hasn't it? I think aside from yesterday, because my brother was over, I still managed to put out a reaction video and some other non-reaction video, I believe, every single day this week, which is I'm pretty stoked with that. Also, what's even better is that Korean Indie's making a comeback tonight. One of the videos that I just published before I went live was a Korean Indie video. So hopefully y'all are excited about that, because I'm excited about that personally. So we got someone from Japan. First person in live chat who has said it they're from Japan. That's pretty cool. So that's good. That's good to hear that this is a good time for you guys. I know it's a little. Well, I should say, I guess this timing's really really good, because it's a Friday night for North America and Europe, and then it's morning time for like Eastern Europe-ish, and maybe it's not really the best time for Europe, but it definitely is morning time for Asia, which is good. You know, I'm trying. It's impossible to cover every single time zone in an efficient manner when I'm trying to do these. I wish that I could, but I just can't. I mean, I guess I would have to. I guess I would have to do like twice a day or something like that. Okay, 5 a.m. in Asia. Zakai VMB, whatever you want to be called. Where in Asia are you? What country are you from? Because I like seeing and knowing where my audience is at. Because we got a bunch of people from I got actually a couple regulars who come in every once in a while who are from Scotland. Got a couple regulars, at least one. Andy is from Norway. South America is pretty popular with me as well. Of course, live chats is a good time and all that. From India. Can't say I've ever had anyone from India in my live chat before. At least that they haven't made themselves known. So you're one of the first, which is, I suppose, good, something to be proud of. I do. Excuse me. Anyway, but I do appreciate you joining, and Andy, it's more likely, based off of my my past performance and history with the internet, is that I'm gonna lose connection before you do. It's gonna happen at least twice in over the next hour or so. That's the way that it goes. So yeah, I don't know. Glad. Once again, glad that y'all could join me. I don't know. Anything you guys want to talk about? Like anything specifically? Anything that's good going on in your life? You want to like ask me some questions or something like that about anything except for politics. I'm not talking about politics. Don't want to get into that. But K-pop, whatever. What are some releases that are coming up next week that you're excited for, and why? That I'll ask you a question to get some conversation started because this week was a little light, and I must admit, there were not really, unless I'm completely crazy and I missed a bunch of stuff, which I don't think is actually necessarily true, although possible. Um, there weren't really that many releases that I would consider like significant or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to, I guess, when all the groups start. Well, when like every single K-pop groups makes a comeback in November. Yeah, this beer is so freaking good. I wish that I could get more of it, but it's a limited edition. That sounds silly, but it's limited. You're gonna be in a YouTube video, like you were gonna record another another cover or something, or are you just gonna be featuring in somebody else's video? Cause that's cool, man. I know that feeling. Like when I don't like when I have to take a break, or whatever, if there's any circumstances, whatever the reason is, like when I'm at KCON or something like that, and I come back and I record, and I'm like, I just like I'm so it's like I'm addicted to making video to YouTube videos at this point. Um, so like it feels really really good to get back into that, getting back into video, opening up Premiere and Photoshop and Audition and turning on the lights and the camera and doing all that whole process is a lot of fun. I just like the entire process of creating one of these videos, even though they're not something that's like super. Ooh, you're collabing with someone. Oh, that's gonna be cool. I have to check that out. Be sure to share that with me when you guys get it uploaded and all that stuff. I definitely would be interested in checking that out. Um, and of course sharing it too. I will do that also. So that is that. Oh yeah, dude. Over the last 2 weeks, I definitely say that Taemin's song and album too, because I have listened to that. I don't think I'm gonna review it, but I have listened to it. It's such a good song. It is definitely, I would say, up in the up near the very top of my favorite songs of the year so far. It's very probable that move is actually going to end up being in my like favorite songs of the year video when we get to the end of the year. It definitely is unique, dude. That's like every single song every single song that Taemin releases. They're all unique and new and different, and they're just cool, man. They're awesome. That's what I love. Listen, that's why I love him as a soloist, man. His music is fantastic. It's all good stuff. I don't think there's anything that I would say is really bad that he's ever released, or anything that I've like not even enjoyed, which is obviously a very good thing, right? If you can release music consistently like that, that's always really good. That's definitely something that is good. Obviously, I just said that. So I don't know what else is new with you guys. What's going on? You got any like ideas for like YouTube videos or some videos and stuff that I could make? Um, their SM stations. I have not actually. I To be completely honest, this year I have not really been keeping up to date or keeping track of all of the station tracks that have been released this year. I think I've only really covered or listened to the couple that Red Velvet have released, and who else? It was like a group, it was like an actual K-pop group that released something as a station, um, or it was, I don't remember. I haven't listened to a lot of them, so I've actually missed those too. And for once, I'm sorry about the internet connection problems, but can we throw a little party and a little round of applause for myself for not for being the one that doesn't have internet issues for once, and it's somebody else. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything like that, but it's really nice to have to be like not be worrying right now about the fact that my internet is being garbage, or that we're gonna lose connection. Because that's been like a theme with these for like every single day. I don't know. I don't know necessarily if I'm gonna be doing a reaction video for that specific song, because I know it's like 2 weeks old, 2 weeks old at least by now. Um, if I should have probably covered it or something like that this week's when of course we didn't have like a new release or anything like that, but I kind of slacked off. We're trying to get better in that. But um, but like if next week or the week after that, if we have a free day during the week, Monday through Friday, then I might consider covering it. Um, but sometimes when stuff just like slips through my fingers like that, I just can't really go back to it. Um, or what you could do is on one of the throwback reaction videos that I upload this weekend, that you can make a request for that down there, and I will definitely add it to my list. Um, it's unfortunate that I can't like cover everything that I wish that I could, but um, I want to do my best, of course, to stay up to date with what is new, because that's what gets the views. As sad as that is, I'm not chasing the views. And there goes my internet. Oh wait, no, I'm still connected. I thought my internet just dropped out. We just sort of The internet upload speed is fluctuating massively, which is not very good. It's not a very good thing. I wish that it was actually consistent, because that would obviously be best. But yeah, I wish that I could cover every release as they get released and stuff like that. But sometimes I can't, and no, that one was my internet connection, unfortunately. I don't know, unless it was actually yours. Um, but yes, Super Junior is coming back next month, which is also super exciting. Super Junior is coming back. It's super exciting. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. It's an anniversary release. It's an anniversary, or they're celebrating what anniversary? 10 years, 50, something like that. Um, which is pretty neato too. Um, have I been to a concert? I've been to every single KCON since 2014. So that's the last three, four, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Yeah, so I've been to the last the last four KCONs in Los Angeles, including the one this year. And I also was at the Hyuna show in Chicago. That was last year. No, it was earlier this year, actually. So my bias K-pop groups. I'm one of those K-pop fans that doesn't have any bias groups and doesn't have any bias members, because I just like listening to K-pop. I just enjoy the music on like on a song by song basis. Of course, there are groups that I enjoy more than others. It is just naturally the way that it goes. But the there's only one group that I would call my bias group, and the only reason why that they're really my bias group is because they got me into K-pop. That this like it's the group that that specifically, you know, solidified my interest in K-pop, and that is 4 Minute, which is my bias group. They're my one and only bias group. I will never ever have anybody who is a bias that I will name a bias group besides 4 Minute, because I will not I be that level of fan for any other group. I'm past that point in my life. Can't keep up like that with everything. Also too, you know, just you know, I like, I guess, being multi fandom and enjoying what every other group is doing. Okay, so to request for throwback reaction videos, if you go to, I'm going to be uploading 2 throwback reactions this weekend. I do them every Saturday and Sunday because that's when there are no K-pop reaction video or no new releases to cover, or on the weekends. So if you go to my most recent throwback reaction video, then and leave a comment and a request for whatever, for whatever songs or anything else that you want to hear me see me make a video for, you just go do that, leave a comment, I'll add it to my list, and then I pick from that list randomly every single time that I make one of those videos. But what I'm going to start doing with throwback reactions, because we should just plug Patreon while we're talking about this, is that similar to how people can, you know, vote to choose what my Sunday discussion video topic is going to be, I'm gonna make it possible for people who support me on Patreon to decide what the songs are going to be for my throwback reaction videos. I'm still going to pick the ones that you're going to vote for. Of course, they're going to be, you know, random, like 5 random songs off of my list every single week. And then the top 2 are going to be what I cover on Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to have a say in that and make the final determination on what throwback reactions are, then go over to my Patreon. I've got a link down in the little description box below this video, and go support me there. It doesn't matter how much it is that you support me with. Any amount gets you, you know, full access, you know, to Patreon stuff. I don't necessarily have a I don't have any tiers and all that stuff like other people do. So you can do that, or you don't. It's perfectly acceptable to not do that, because ultimately then nothing will change, you know, to like what it had been previously. But it's just a way to kind of like give people who want to, you know, support me like that a little bit more of a, you know, direct influence and stuff like that on the direction of the channel and what happens and stuff like that. To get a little bit more say in that regard. So that's how you do that. Well, or that's a thing. Just to plug Patreon. We'll do that every once in a while too. Not necessarily in this thing. So that's that. Favorite rookie boy and girl groups. I gotta say, as far as rookie boy groups, I really enjoy it, and this is probably just because they're the most recent debut this year. I really do like that new group, that those like, they're literally boys from TS Entertainment, TRCNG. I'm calling them Tracing because that's easier than TRCNG. I really like them. Rookie girl groups. I don't think there's any rookies that have just made their debut this year that necessarily stand out to me at the moment. Yeah, there isn't any girl group that like stands out to me. I'll have to think about that one a little bit more coming up later. But I definitely think that, you know, towards the end of the year, when I do like a couple of my like end of the year favorite videos, where I do like favorite songs and stuff like that, then I'll definitely add, you know, favorite debuts of 2017 to that whole lineup, so that we can talk about some of that and share my thoughts on the new blood into K-pop and all that stuff. And then of course we can go back at that, you know, to that a year later and then laugh at the fact that I liked groups that disbanded because they sucked or, just failed as a group. So that'll be the way that I do that. Or I suppose that'll be the way that I answer that question further, because I don't have an answer to like what my favorite girl group is currently. Unfortunately, I do apologize that I do apologize for that, but that is the way that it is. Oh yeah, Dreamcatcher. Oh yeah, I guess Dreamcatcher debuted this year, didn't they? That's true. I would name Dreamcatcher as my favorite debut, although technically there's Minx, but with more members and a rebrand. But yeah, I say if we're gonna go like when the name started and all that stuff, I definitely say Dreamcatcher is my favorite rookie girl group. Yeah, other than that, I don't really know. Although I am hoping with Dreamcatcher that they I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not even hoping for anything with Dreamcatcher. I just want to see what they do because, like, of course, their first three releases this year have been really really good. Although I've progressively started to like them less and less from the beginning. But that's fine. I, I'm not gonna really enjoy every single song that a group releases, so I'm okay with that. I'm really interested what they're gonna do with what their plans are for their next song because watching all of these dance practice videos and covers and other stuff that they've done for other songs and other styles of music and stuff like that is like they can kill it. They'll throw down and just blow everyone away no matter what it is that they do. I think like they're fit to do anything. And this shouldn't really be a surprise for a K-pop group because that's kind of like what they're trained and bred to do, or groomed to do, I should say. Groomed to do, I should say. But yeah, I'm really interested in Dreamcatcher and how that goes in the future. I mean, they had a really good year. But I suppose that's the answer to your question, Luna. I like Tracing and Dreamcatcher as my or TRCNG, you want to call however you want to call them, as the my favorite rookie groups from this year. Have I said how much I like that? This beer is so good. I've already said that like every single time I've taken a drink, but like, oh, it's so good. If any of you come to the United States and you like beer, you definitely have got to see if you can like either make it to Kentucky, drink some bourbon. I don't really like bourbon. I don't, but whatever. Or if you don't like, or if you're not necessarily into the bourbon like I am, then definitely get one of these, bourbon barrel beer things, like a stout or something like that. This isn't a stout, but the bourbon barrel like stouts and aged stuff is like, ooh, really, really, really good. I love it. Favorite songs from this year? I can't specifically name a group of songs. I do have to say, like, without a doubt, though, like, I didn't have to think about it. I was actually kind of thinking about this earlier in the afternoon. What my favorite song is. Also, welcome, Nerd Diane, as well. Good to see you. But my favorite song of the year right now, I think, or at least among my favorites, without me even like really putting a whole lot of thought into it and like kind of categorizing songs, is definitely Coco Bop from EXO. I love that song. It's really really good. It's probably when we come down to it at the end of the year in like the final week of December, when I upload my like favorites of 2017 series of videos, that song is definitely going to be right up at the top of my favorite songs. Seen Ace's live stage for Colin. I haven't actually. I don't normally watch live performances. To be completely honest with you, um, it isn't necessarily that I don't really have like any interest in watching them, but it's really more to do with the fact that like I just can't keep up with it all. You know, like especially like if I'm on task with with my daily uploads and all that stuff to new music and my review videos and other stuff that I'm doing. I just don't have the time to keep up with stuff like that. As anything beyond like new releases and stuff like that, I just don't have the time to watch K-pop that closely. I mean, I think with Coco Pop, there's like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those songs that either like somebody's really gonna enjoy it or they're not gonna like it that much. Or it's like a love hate sort of song. I don't really think that there's necessarily a lot of people that are just kind of okay with it. I don't know if that makes any sense. But it's something that is so like different, and that they like has of course hasn't been heard this year at the very least, and doesn't normally get heard in K-pop like ever. And because when you release something that's like that different and that dramatically different, it's something that people just don't necessarily. It throws them for a loop. They just don't understand it. They don't process it as well as just another tropical house sort of song. They kind of get accustomed to like what's familiar and all that stuff, and then when a group throws a curveball like EXO did this year, then people just don't know how to digest it when they first listen to it. Those are definitely songs I would say that people start to enjoy, uh that people start to enjoy more as they listen to it more. But I personally was like in love with that song from the first time I listened to it. I loved it. I thought it was really really good. At the very least, I thought it was really really good because it was a completely different sound and style and genre to what we've been hearing so far this year, or over the year or two or anything like that. So I really appreciated that aspect of it before I got any sort of like deeper appreciation and that of it. Which I think is always good. So I'm going to turn that question back on you guys, right? What are your favorite K-pop songs, or what is like one song that would be among your favorites for this year, for 2017? Um, I guess too. I also have to kind of give. Did Ace make their debut this year or was it last year? It was Cactus? Cactus was this year, wasn't it? I think Cactus was this year. Because I guess I'd also have to also include Cactus one of my favorite songs as well. It was a really really different sort of similar to EXO, bring in a genre in the amount I should in the amount that they did, that Ace did when they bring their hard style, similar to how EXO brought a really strong reggae vibe to it, to their song. Um, that was really really good. I enjoyed that quite a lot. Um, I mean, you should be able to get bourbon wherever it is that you live. I think most likely you'd be able to find like Maker's Mark is probably one of the more internationally available bourbons. Um, Other than that, what Jim Beam? I think Jim Beam's bourbon, because Jack Daniels is Tennessee whiskey. It's different, but Jim Beam is bourbon too. I think Jim Beam is bourbon. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh Jesus! If I'm wrong, people are gonna freaking kill me about that. Good thing there's no one from Kentucky watching this, or else they just roast me for saying something's bourbon when it's not. God, but that beer is so good. Like, holy God. It's like, dude, there is one thing that I absolutely love, and is a good beer. Like a really, really good beer is really fantastic. A good dark beer too. Like, I haven't necessarily had like a good like light beer, like a Pilsner or something like that, but I should say I haven't had a Pilsner that's really kind of like blown me away. That's been like, wow, that's amazing. It's so good. But these dark beers are definitely where it's at for me. I love them so much. Summer Rain's the G Friend song? Dude, that's a solid trio of songs, Andy. Like, definitely those three songs are going to be up on my list for the end of the year. 100%. Yeah, Summer Rain's the G Friend song. I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, I enjoy every G Friend song, despite the fact that I've been like been critiquing them and not being particularly positive with my videos with the last couple of releases. Like, I really like G Friend a lot. You know, just despite the general tone of my videos, I really do enjoy their music. But I love that the I got love from Taeyeon, man. I love the fact it's such a dark sort of song for her, man. That is like the thing that wins me over with that, the just the general vibe of it like that. You know, especially considering, you know, of course, compared to some of her, well, most of all of her other releases except for that single song right there. It's such an outlier, and it's just equally as good, but of course in a completely different way. It's fantastic. Cannot get enough of that song. Can't get enough of Taeyeon's music in general. Her music is fantastic. It does, dude. I think just Taeyeon in general, when she sings or whenever she performs the music, you know, sings and all that stuff, the music that she does, you know, all of her songs, you know, you kind of like feel the charisma and the attitude and the confidence behind it, you know, like obviously, you know, she's been doing this for a long time, right? So she's pretty confident in who she is and what she can do and the music that she's singing and all of that, and like it definitely comes across in a lot of her music. Like, you know, she's in a really good place. She's really, really comfortable and just killing whatever it is that she does. And you know, that's equaled some amazing music, some absolutely amazing music. You know, so I mean, like whatever it is, whenever I listen to one of her songs, is like I just absolutely feel, you know, the personality and the charisma and stuff like that. It's just her music is just oozes with all of that stuff. It's good stuff. I love feeling that stuff out of music. It's really it's something that's good, you know, and it's something that you don't really get a whole lot of, or at least I don't get a whole lot of out of K-pop. You know, like, you know, it's one thing to be building a connection with the group based off of like variety shows and behind the scenes videos and other stuff like that. But you know, when I'm building a connection with the group personally like that, I'm building it because I'm actually feeling them through their music instead of, you know, watching all these behind the scenes stuff. So, you know, like I actually, like when I listen to Taeyeon's music, like I actually feel like her behind it. Um, you know, so like I'm like yeah, so like I said, when I listen to Taeyeon, when I listen to like Zion T, when I listen to Taemin, when I listen to